Hello everyone. So I started this journey streaming, making YouTube videos just about a week ago. And it was really crazy watching two of my videos like race to get my first 1,000 views. It was so cool. I'm really just so grateful for everyone who's been watching, commenting. We've been having great conversations, liking, subscribing, everything. I appreciate it so much. You have no idea. I really I wanted to sort of pick up a project and run with it, and this has been really great. So this is going to be kind of a long video, but what I did was I sort of packed everything in that you would need to do to revamp those two videos. So I took the vault farming guide and the farming guide that I did, and I sort of combined them and sort of revamped because I know we don't have the vault anymore. So this is it. This is all of it that you'll ever need. I crammed in like 8 hours today and yesterday just following every lead. I scanned every single map side to side to try and find every single infinite loop I could find for mobs and everything like that. The Twitch is going to be linked below. If you want proof, you can go to the Twitch VODs and watch it. It's a little bit long and tedious, but I did it. So if you want to see the deck also, the deck will be, you click on the link to the Twitch and then I have a section for deck lists there. It'll open up a Google Doc and you can do that. That's the deck I used. It's an Oops All Spells black and blue deck. It's also up here on the screen, but the link below in the Twitch will also have like all my gear, all the slots, all the artifacts, everything like that. Cool. So without further ado, let's talk about my farming guide 2.0. So, this one's going to be targeted specifically for high-end uh, and more of that sort of expert and master information. A couple things to keep in mind that you can do it at lower difficulties, of course, but you'll get less gear. And then if you put more like world enchantments on, you'll get better gear. So the way I'm kind of breaking this down is two sections. The first is a party section. So like if you have a group of three people, that's the best practice to do. And then if you're solo, you can just skip ahead to the solo section. All the tags will be below. Just skip forward to the solo section. Then at the very end, I'm going to go basically over all the infinite spawns I could find, the quests, just each zone sort of individually. So if you want kind of a more in-depth thing, I'll be doing that there. So here's what we need to farm. These are the things. We need ether. We need planar mana. We need gold. We need equipment, spell pages, new spells, eternal echoes, chromatic mana, orb of shadows, artifact upgrade materials. I think that's all of them. So most of them can be found up here in the wallet section. This section right here, chromatic mana, eternal echoes, planar mana, all that stuff, orb of shadows, all that stuff, everywhere. And you can find the caps, all that stuff. So make sure you don't overcap. Once you're done farming, you're done farming. If you have a squad of 3, what you want to do is focus on 2 quests. These will give you the most bang for your buck. The end of quest rewards are super good. Not so great on the equipment, the spell pages and stuff like that, but if you want the ether, you want the planar mana, just go to these 2 quests. So, but that's specifically if you can keep them under 10 minutes. So if you can run these things in under 10 minutes, these are going to be the best thing. It's a land in flames and like mines. So a land in flames is here in Shiv, right here, and like mines is in Teleria, Act 3. If you can get them under 10 minutes, which is pretty easy to do, you can play movement classes to help you out, like Geomancer, Mind Mage, but those are going to be your best bets. Also, if you do them on Master, it also gives you rep for that. So the further you go, the better it is. Now, if you want sort of a mix of both things, both good equipment and end of dungeon rewards, your best bet is Meltdown. Meltdown is super good. It's exactly 10 minutes, ton of mobs, ton of rare packs, all that stuff, but you have to keep looping it every 10 minutes. So there's a few loading screens in between, so it's not quite as good. Now, if you want specifically just to farm equipment in an endless, infinite bad guy mob spawn, I'm gonna just go ahead and skip to the end. There's a few notes there, just specifically, and I think that's what is the new vault is what I'll talk about down there. All right, cool. Now, for solos, I did all this on solo, and I've been farming solo. I got a 152. I got, this is where I live. What you're gonna want to do is I'm gonna kind of go over a little bit from the last video and a little bit of the party section. Because some people may have skipped forward. If you can get again a land in flames and like mines under 10 minutes, and this is specifically, it's only on master, so the rewards only get to the point where it's worth it once you get to master, because it also gives you the rep rewards. So Aether, Planar Mana, do those two, just jam them over and over again until you cap. Then after that, if you can't do that, if you can't make that time check, then after that it's going to be kind of like what I did in my last video. Here's the updated list though. You're going to want to do skirmishes on the hardest difficulty you can. The order is Special Skirmish, then Defend Mage Tower, Major Skirmish, Minor Skirmish, and Capture Mage Tower. Those are kind of both at the same level. Also, I recommend that you don't do them on Teleria because a lot of them are really broken. Also, there's a couple of the ones in Tazim, the ones where you have to get the alligators in the dens and kill them close. Just skip over those. They take too much time. They're really annoying and they don't always work. So just move right over those. So what I just talked about was about Planar Mana and Aether. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk over each farming section for infinite equipment, spell pages, spells, all that stuff. Just keep watching, find the one you prefer, and that would be the perfect thing. Now what we're in is a section on infinite spawns. So I literally went and scanned like a printer through every single place you could stand on every single overmap. I found 2 infinite or nearly infinite spawn locations. Now, the way I graded these infinites are they have to have 2 things. They have to have basically a almost as fast as you can kill them amount of mobs, just regular dudes. And then they also have to, at a good rate, spawn rare blue packs and then the rare, like the mythic, the yellow creatures. I found 2 of them. They were actually both in Tazim. So the first one in Tazim is right here. It's right next to the Hedron Cascades. I did a video about this, and at first I thought it was sort of like a place where you could kind of, because they're just like saprolings or whatever, right? So they're not going to kill you super fast, but you know, if you're more attentive, it's going to be even better. So you just come right here, you stand here, and then they just spawn over and over again. Now, as we go through this, keep in mind that sometimes these zones will be bugs and they won't always like show up. See, like this right here, they're not showing up. So what I'd recommend is just reload, like go back to the realm, come back out, and then you'll be able to, like, it'll eventually spawn. The other place was also in Tazim, and it's right over here, this zone. So I go to Reef's Edge, and what you do here is you're just gonna run a loop. So they don't all come out of the same location specifically, but if you just come in here and just run around and just do a big loop in this one box right here, you just go around and around here, that's going to be your best bet. They're going to spawn all over there. The other thing that's really nice about this location is the special skirmish spawns right here. So what you could do is you could just run around here, like getting them to spawn, and then every time the special skirmish comes, you just jump right over, do that real quick, get yourself a whole bunch of Aether or Planar Mana, then you just come back to just farming equipment. So those are my 2 spots that I found that were really sort of very close, if not infinite spawns. So the next infinite spawn zone that I heard about is surface tensions. So there's a video on YouTube about this. I highly recommend checking it out. It's by a guy called Shovel. I won't put it up here because I actually wasn't able to do it. You kind of very specifically need to stand in one spot. You can't move, you can't die, or you'll bug the instance. And I actually wasn't ever able to spawn more than 2 of the elites. Basically, there's elites at the end of the dungeon that just keep spawning if you're doing the right thing, but I wasn't ever able to do it. So it seems like a great place to farm, but it's a little bit volatile and may or may not work, especially in a group. Because if you're in a group, they, you know, Now, the next one is Meltdown. So Meltdown is super good, super efficient if you're in a group. If you're in a party of 3 and you max out your world stuff, or if you just unmaster, it's going to be awesome for everything. For planar mana, for equipment, spell pages, all the stuff. Ether. However, it's a 10-minute loop, so you have to reload it. And as a solo, it's not so good. The mobs are not as good. There's not as efficient because you can't like bring the orbs in and out as fast as you could with multiple people. Because it's like the more efficient your group is at that mission, the better it will be, right? Just running back and forth with the things. So the next one we're going to talk about here is Curse of Crussebourg. This is a really interesting one where basically at the end of the mission, what you're going to do here is you do everything, you do the whole mission, you go through it, and then at the very end, just before you place the amulet on the altar, these werewolves will spawn just over and over again out of the areas, and then you will actually be safe right here in the middle. So you could just let them group up, cast a spell, kill a bunch of them, or send your mobs out or whatever you want to do, and they can't actually come into this zone. So this is actually a very safe place to do it. However, the trade-off is basically like I wasn't able to spawn any rares or blue packs. You might be able to do that if you're in a bigger group, but the kind of downside to this is if anyone clicks the altar, which you're standing right near, it just ends it. So the bigger the group, the more likely it is to happen. But other than that, it's really, really good. All right, this is it. This is what you skip forward to. This is the quest that I think is the next, the vault. So what you want to do is you want to come here to Benalia. I know my camera's covering up a little bit, but this is where you want to go. You want to go Bring Light to Darkness. Bring Light to Darkness is a really great quest. You're going to have to go all the way through to the end. Then once you're there, the final quest is you have to stand in these patches of light in order to summon the last boss. So what you want to do is just not do that. Bad guys will spawn. You'll keep killing them. I found some really great rares, blue packs, lots of great loot on an infinite cycle. If you just want equipment, spell pages, spells, this is where you farm it. And you could just do that over and over again. I did test it at different lengths of like, is it better? Are there more spawns closer to the end of the light bar meter filling up, and so on and so forth? There wasn't any difference that I could find. If you have anything that you found, let me know. But I also wanted to give a shout out. A person from the Discord named Bashnir. They helped me find this and test it out. So thank you, buddy. This is a group effort for sure. Thank you so much. All right, cool. Well, I think that is all of it. I know this is a long video, but I really tried to pack everything and all of my findings into it. If you find anything else, if you find any more leads or anything that you'd like me to track down and try myself, put in the links below, put in the comments below. Also, if you have any follow-up or any questions or need any better explanations than what I've already provided, comments. I'm really attentive. Please join in the conversation. I'm happy to help. And have a great night. Bye.